Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. I pray that you're all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I am a certified relationship and trauma informed coach. I help women heal after toxic relationship and or avoid them altogether. So if you're interested in being coached by me, you can find me over on my website, which I will leave linked in the description box down below. Now, it's been a while since we've had a talk on narcissistic individuals, narcissistic Muslims, particularly. If you haven't watched my videos on a narcissistic Muslim man, then you want to watch that video because it has some important information that may help you. But in today's video, I really want to talk about justice and getting justice with the narcissistic Muslim. What I really want to talk on when it comes to getting justice from the narcissist is I want you to understand that there is a purpose and a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything. A lot of people have a problem accepting that there are creations of Allah that are evil. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran for us to say that we seek refuge in Allah from the evil of what He has created, right? Meaning there is evil in some of the creations that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. And that is a point that we have to accept. Until we can accept that there are people in this life who just aren't good people, right? There are people in this life who hurt and harm others. There are other creations in this life who will hurt and harm others. Until we accept that, we're not able to move forward. And for me, when I think about narcissistic abusive relationships, I really do see narcissists as one of the fitness of the dunya. I really do, because they have the potential to really emotionally and even physically destroy others. And it is something that we should make a prayer point. We should really make it a serious prayer point. And coming back to this topic of getting justice with the Muslim narcissist, you have to understand that not every justice will be given in this dunya. This dunya wasn't created or designed for justice to be done equally right here, right away. You have to understand that as a Muslim, you have to get that. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the day of judgment in place. The day of judgment is there for that justice to happen at that appointed time. Now, just because we are not there yet, we're all still in the dunya, right? We're all still experiencing this world and the challenges and the difficulties that come with it. We're all still meeting a lot of these, gosh, I don't want to say demonic, but really harmful individuals. We're still intermingling with them in this dunya. But it's important for us to understand that as much as we want justice right away, and it would feel good for us to have justice right away, that you will have to wait for certain justices for you to for them to come into place. You will have to wait. You will not receive them all in this dunya. And one of the best ways that you can give yourself reassurance that the justice is coming is by reminding yourself of the day of judgment. Is called the day of judgment because that is the day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives rights and justice. And know that every oppression will be accounted for. The dunya has us feeling so comfortable that a lot of us just think, yeah, I can oppress you and what? I can do what I like to you and what? What are you going to do about it? You can't do nothing about it. As long as I have the ability, I'm going to harm if I want to harm. Because they're not thinking about the day of judgment. I find it difficult to understand how a Muslim can intentionally or even unintentionally but still display behaviors that directly harm others and insist upon it. Insist on continuing upon it and not feel like a day is going to come where they are going to receive back the harm that they created. But that's what I need to remind you of, that day is coming. It is coming. If in this world you're not getting any justice, all the lies they've told about you, all the rumors they've created about you, the way they go around bad-mouthing you and destroying your image and destroying your reputation, you know, the person that they've made you become. And I know we have to take responsibilities for our actions. I definitely speak to that. But at the same time, I do understand that because of the way someone treats you, it can make you become a certain type of person. And so if you've become someone that even you don't like as a result of the negativity and the trauma and the hurts that you've been through in your life because of someone else, all of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give justice. Now, of course, waiting for the day of judgment is one way to give yourself reassurance that that justice is coming. However, I also want you to know that you don't need to take actions. Some evil deeds are punished in this life before we even get to the hereafter. But I don't want you to worry about them being punished for what they've done. I just want you to have certainty that it will be done, because Allah is just. Let's not have a question around, will there be justice? The justice is coming. It's just a matter of when. It's coming. It always comes. Unless that person repents and unless they come to seek your forgiveness for the pain and harm that they have created and you choose to forgive them, otherwise justice will uphold. So let that be of reassurance to you. You can't get so clouded in it and so, mind boggled by what has happened to you that you remove Allah from the situation. You can never remove Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the situation. So for every injustice that they have done to you, for every dhulm that they have done to you, know that injustice is darkness on the day of judgment. And darkness means you don't have a light. And if you don't have a light, you are falling in the hellfire. That's what that means. So it doesn't just mean, I'm going to be in the dark and what? You're going to drop into the fire of hell. Because we all have to cross the bridge. And you need your light to help you see so you can cross the bridge. If you can't see, how are you going to know if you're taking the wrong step? And then you have the hellfire at the bottom, you will fall. So it is not a light matter. Oppressing one another is not a light matter. And Allah knows best what is the truth and what is not the truth. Narcissistic individuals are very good at making themselves look good on the outside, but really creating a lot of pain and harm and havoc on the inside. And you don't even know where to begin to explain to others what you're going through, because most people who don't understand narcissistic abuse will not understand where you're coming from. The narcissistic individual will come up with something so logical that to everybody else it's going to sound like, of course that makes sense. Why are you complaining? Oh no, this person is not harming you, but you know what you're suffering and what you're going through and what they are really doing. You know that they are master manipulators. But I want you, again, put your reassurance in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that that justice will come. It's not a matter of if, it's coming. Put that in your mind. And to support this point, I want you guys to really understand how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes individuals who oppress and harm others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in various ayats of the Quran how much He dislikes those who cause oppression and those who cause difficulty to others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, verily Allah loves not the arrogant, those who are pride and boastful. And we know that this is one of the star marks for the narcissist, is that they have such level of arrogance, such level of pride, such level of, do you know who I am? Do you know what I can do? I'm famous, people know me, I am this person of that person in my community, and blah blah blah. They have such level of entitlement, such an inflated sense of self. It's not even confidence. It's a fine line. It's not confidence. It's an inflated sense of self that is to a large extent false. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like individuals who have pride and those who are arrogant. And what is arrogance? To deny the truth. And we know narcissists they do this at such a classic level. They will gaslight you. The truth will be right there and they will tell you it is not the truth. It is absolute lie. And they will say that with such certainty that they have you second guessing yourself. That is arrogance, denial of the truth. And so we must understand that the characteristics of the narcissist are very much so a lot of the characteristics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discourages us from having. And they are also a lot of the characteristics that shaitan has. Subhanallah. And so as believers, we want to be more like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and far away from being like or having the character traits of the shayateens and shaitan. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that. I want you guys to have certainty. Justice will come. It may just not show up in this dunya right away. Another way in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fights for you, and I want you to understand that at some point in your life you may see this, is that Allah may allow the narcissist to see you at a point in your life when you are succeeding. Yes. You may not even have to do anything. I don't want you to go chasing them. I don't want you to go around trying to prove anything. Nigerians have this thing called like pepper them gang, which is basically like trying to make your enemies even more jealous of you by showing everything you have on social media. No, I don't want you to do any of that, because you know what? The evil eye is true. Okay? So stay protected. But what you may notice happens is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make that person see you at a point when you are at your highest. Perhaps they may have a rethink. Perhaps they may realize that actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you. He loves you. And that is why it's so important that you heal from narcissistic abuse. Because keeping yourself trapped in that, holding your life back from moving forward, it is causing more harm to yourself. And you deserve peace of mind. You deserve happiness. You deserve a well-lived life. You deserve a purposeful life. So keep reminding yourself of your purpose in this dunya. Put everything in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go and work on yourself. Do your own healing. Think about the impact and the negative impacts that this relationship has had on you, and make a decision, make a commitment to self for you to heal and for you to be able to move on and for you to become whole again, for you to become a better person. Like this experience, it came, and maybe the intention of the narcissist was to destroy you. Was to make you lose your sense of self, your sense of direction, your sense of focus. You're praying salah and you can't even concentrate on your salah because you're thinking about this individual, subhanallah. And now they are occupying space that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is supposed to occupy. Occupying space that your deen is supposed to occupy. It has gone too far and it has caused harm within you. You need to heal from that, become whole again, become a better person, a wiser individual, and then be able to move on with your life. And then at that point, you may see that Allah shows that person you at your best. And that is a punishment for them in this dunya. Why? Because what the narcissist wants is to see you at your lowest always. They want to be able to laugh at you and say, see, I knew she wasn't going to turn out to be nothing. I knew she was useless. I knew she couldn't make her relationships work. You see, of course, you're going to end up that way because it validates them and it makes them feel better. And subhanallah, as a Muslim, for you to desire to see your fellow Muslim down definitely shows that there is darkness in the heart and there is a problem with your heart. And here I'm speaking of the spiritual heart. No healthy spiritual heart will desire to want to see their fellow brother or sister in the deen down or in a bad place or for harm to come upon them. Except for those who have been oppressed. And be careful. Be wary of the dua of the one who is oppressed. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, be wary of the dua of the person who is oppressed, for there is no barrier between it and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, if the one who is oppressed makes dua against you, that dua will go directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There will be no barrier between it and that dua will be accepted. And if the dua of the oppressed is accepted, then you wait until the effect begin to hit you. Wait until the effects begin to hit you. That is why in this life, it is not good to mock at others when they are down in life or when they are going through a difficulty or a trial or a challenge. When you mock an individual for going through a difficulty or trial in their life, you will not die except that you also go through the exact same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you to go through the exact same thing. So when we see individuals who are challenged somehow, whether physically challenged or mental issues or whatever it may be, and we mock them, we laugh at them, it's funny to us. Subhanallah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For you may end up in that position before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes your life. Meaning, before you die, you must also suffer the same fate. And so we must understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like injustice. And Allah is fair. Allah is always fair. Wallahi, sometimes that's what gives me peace. If someone oppresses me and I'm like, this person's behaving as though there's nothing that I can do. Sometimes I know I can fight for myself, but I know that if I leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is better able to fight for me. Now, that does not mean I allow myself to be oppressed, because I do not belong in the school of thought of just let other people keep oppressing you. And you sit there and that is the definition of sabr. And that is the definition of your way to heaven. I don't belong to that school of thought, okay? I'm like, you oppress me, I'm out. Okay, I'm not here to allow you to oppress me. I'm going to do the best I can to stop the oppression, right? But in terms of me going for revenge, what gives me peace of mind a lot of the time is knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to fight for me. And I speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I ask Him for the justice and I ask Him to fight for me. Because He's the one that can give you justice in a way you would never have even thought of. So for those of you who are being harmed by narcissistic individuals, do the best that you can to protect yourself. And also take the case to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most just. Now, in terms of your healing, for you to heal from all of the negative impact that they've left behind, the pain they've left behind, the negative influence that they've left behind. You do have to do your own work to heal from that. So if you want my help, I help those who have suffered from traumatic events to heal again, to become better women again, and to thrive. That is my mission, to help women to prioritize their mental well-being so that they can thrive and achieve the best that they can in this life, and also pursue their goals for the hereafter, inshallah ta'ala. So if you think those services will be helpful, then definitely you can find me over on my website and you can have a look at my programs, or you can just book a one-on-one single session with me and we can find a way forward. I am committed to helping you ladies understand that it is a balance of putting Allah in charge, but also you tying your camel. It is a balance of the two. But no, Allah is just and He will never let you down. Thank you ladies so much for watching this video, and gentlemen, if men are here too, that's fine. I really hope this video has been a beneficial reminder to you, because sometimes we can forget, because it can get so overwhelming when you go through narcissistic abuse. May Allah make it easy for you. I'll speak to you later, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum.